I live? Am I live? Think so. I've not got a notification. I don't know why. Ah, it's showing live. But I don't know why the thumbnail is showing so pixelated. Okay, cool. Now I've got a notification. Let's just quickly go and check the thumbnail. I don't know why this has been happening to me for some time now. Very strange. Change. Yeah, that should do it. Done. Hi, hey guys, what's up? How are you all? I missed going live last Monday. So I missed an entire week. I didn't go live and I didn't post anything on my YouTube after a very long time. What's happening? What's new? Did any of you pick up anything during the Amazon sale? Or have any of you bought anything during the headphone zone sale? Teddy, you got the EW200. Very nice. Very nice set. It's one of my favorite IEMs. In fact, SimGot's been doing some very good stuff with the IEMs, and that's one of the many really good things. You got the DD Hi-Fi DAC, also very nice. I quite like the DD Hi-Fi DAC. In fact, it's very similar to the Hi-Fi Go Link with a better build. Oh, you got the Warner SG. What do you think about it? I reviewed the Warner. My gosh, I think 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and I quite liked it. So I wanted to know if there's a difference if you've heard the original and this one. Zuhaib, hi. What is DSP? DSP, the full form of DSP is digital signal processing. Usually it's used for a lot of sort of Dolby Atmos and all that sort of stuff. Basically, any amount of processing that's involved. So it's called, this variant is called the DSP variant because there is DSP going on since it's not really a full-fledged DAC in that chip. It's like a decoder. It doesn't, I don't know the absolute science of it, but a very simple explanation would be it's like a dumbed down version of a DAC. So it's not going to be as sort of high level in overall detail compared to a dedicated dongle DAC. So I mean, it'll get the job done. These versions of IEMs are usually made for someone who doesn't want to, buy the extra dongle DACs and have that inconvenience. So DSP is usually the way to go. But also a big reason why a lot of people just buy the 3.5 mm is because they can pick up multiple dongle DACs and have different colorations to the IEMs with different dongle DACs. People do this with amplifiers as well. I've got a series of amplifiers for my speakers. So one cool thing is about the FIO JD1, their DSP variant, the USB-C variant, has 5 different tunings you can cycle between. So if you're someone who wants to play around with sound and likes different tunings for different genres of music, instead of having separate investments into dongle DACs, consider getting the JD1, because if you just press the volume up and down button, it will cycle between each different tuning. So that's one thing to consider if you do want to save a little money instead of going for dongle DACs. Teddy audio, they were the same chips. Yeah, Teddy DD Hi-Fi audio killer. I've had a few people ask me this question. I myself have not reviewed the Audiocular D07 or any of their products, but I do know it is more affordable. And I can't tell you this from my own experience, but I have had a few people who've been talking about this in one of my videos threads. I forget which one it is, but somebody has replied to one of these comments speaking about this, saying that I bought the Audiocular and it didn't last very long. The build is not as good, so he's gone and bought the DD Hi-Fi, and he's said, I mean, this is what he said in somewhere in the comments, that it is definitely a much better build than the Audiocular. So one thing I do know for a fact is that the DD Hi-Fi one that I've tested, it's built like a tank. In fact, it's much more robust looking and feeling than the Hi-Fi Go Link, which is twice the price. So I would recommend the DD Hi-Fi because I've used it. For that matter, I've even done a comparison with the DD Hi-Fi and the Hi-Fi Go Link. And honestly, if you're worried about longevity, I'll always recommend the DD Hi-Fi over the Hi-Fi. Not that I've had issues with my Hi-Fi Go Link. It's been running perfectly fine. I think it might be over a year old now. It's showing signs of aging, but the cable is not coming apart. It's still in very good condition. In fact, I've got it right here, the Wi-Fi. It's in pretty good condition. I don't know if you can see it. The cables are not fraying; they're not coming apart. And the thing is, when this is connected to my phone, I have a very heavy QED cable tugging on this part. And despite that happening, the cables, I mean, it's pretty solid. I've not had any sort of wear and tear showing on that section. The only wear and tear I can see is on the metal section of the USB-C that goes in and out of the phone. But it's held up pretty well. So I mean, it's no issue. But the DD Hi-Fi is made with a much tougher cable. So there you go, Mr. Meister. Hi. HD 560 is recently from the Amazon sale. Wow. What are you driving your 560s with? What DAC and what amp? I'd love to know. Is it a portable setup? Is it a desktop setup? What is the backing hardware you have for your 560s? Sennheisers, man. Like, even I'm a sucker. I've got a whole bunch of Sennheisers. Two sets of Sennheisers with me. Um, Rohit, I haven't used a lot yet, but it's pretty good. Okay, cool. I've got one here for demo with me. In fact, I'm in the process of listening to it before I start scripting. But I really like the Tangzu Warner, Rohit. It's one of my favorites for sure. You've not gone wrong with it, especially if you like a lot of detail. It's surprisingly a very good performer in its price range, to be honest. Zuhaib, yes, on the device, the JD1 FIO IEM, the USB variant has basically three EQs you can toggle between. Hey, Laser, yeah, thanks for the. Is that a super thanks? So I don't know what that is, but thank you for that. Yeah, I'm doing okay, man. I'm not doing too well. That's why I was off last week. I didn't come live. I didn't do any videos for review. I just took a break because I needed one. Uh, Amazing Facts. Hi, Amazing Facts. I've seen you after a while. I talked to Headphones on Guru. They told me original Tangzu headphones on Tangzu both are same sounding. Okay. Yeah, I think it's just cosmetic, but it's a very pretty finish. In fact, I've got a set in front of me. It's beautifully done. Rohit, I was waiting for the live stream to ask you if there are any things that I need to do for starting out to the IM, things to keep in mind. Not much, Rohit. You've got the IEMs already. I mean, that's the Tangzu Warners are a very good start, to be honest. Um, do you intend on getting a DAC amp? Do you plan on getting a dedicated audio player? Do you plan on getting a dedicated amplifier? I mean, these are the things you need to figure out for yourself if you do want to expand and really sort of fall into that pool of audiophilia, or are you just fine plugging your IEMs into your phone if you have a headphone jack or just a converter? Ankit Tube, hi. Paul from Base Lover, would you recommend CCA, CRA, ZS10 line of IMs? CRA, I think, which were the CRAs? I think I reviewed them. There's just so many things I've reviewed now. Sorry, I'm just checking, Ankit. I'm just going on to YouTube and typing Paul's POV and CCA, CRA. Okay, CRA. I did not like for bass. I remember these being a little too um, bright for me. I remember the CRAs being too bright. I thought you were talking about the CXS. The CXS was fun. They are like an open back set of IEMs. But bass wise, I do prefer the ZS10 series. They've got some good stuff. Mr. Meister. My HD560 sound loud and full enough at 40 to 50 from my okay audio chip. Dedicated amp make a difference. Mm, so I'll just tell you what I've. I don't know if I can reach it. I'm sitting in a very tight spot today. Meister, for example, I'll just tell you what happened when I started getting to the whole. I was always an audiophile, but I never got into the headphone side of things because I liked speakers. But just to give you an example, if you've been on my live streams before, you would have seen this. But this is my dedicated audio player. This at the time was very high end. It was the FIO X5. It was very premium considered. I mean, back then when I picked it up in 2014, and beautiful DAC chip, beautiful amp chip. It did very well. A lot of people spoke very highly of it. But the thing is, I eventually it just sounded to me like the DAC was doing the right job, but the amp wasn't. So maybe a month or two later, I decided to pick this up. This is a separate. I don't know if you can see the separation there. Yeah, maybe against my shirt. This is a separate amp. This was a dedicated Theo Mont Blanc. This was called. I'm sure it's discontinued now, but I needed the extra amping to make my headphones sound a little more lively. And having a dedicated unit is always better than having something that's master of all sort of things. So having a unit that is an expert at doing a specific thing is a better way to go. And considering you've got 560s, I'd say try it out. It's something that you should experience yourself, because I can say a lot of things and other reviewers can say a lot of things. But there's one thing I always say about this hobby: is treat it like a science. Experiment as much as you can, experiment as much as you want to. And the more experimenting you do, you gain more of an understanding of the whole situation, and uh, you find your path, in other words. So it's worthwhile. I'd say it's worthwhile considering getting a dedicated amp, even if you have an onboard chip that's good. And is scaling real? By scaling, you mean do you mean upsampling by any chance? You sound like actor R. Okay, cool. Thanks, Kamlesh. Today I tried the DD Hi-Fi, but I returned it because it was only giving from 1 year. And the time I got both working, they sounded muddy and in my head. Okay, that's weird. It my set hasn't sounded muddy at all. It could have been a defect. Zohaib, okay, should I get the Warner instead of Chew 2 if DSP is not something special? I anyway have Chew 1. I have not tested the Chew 1. I mean, sorry, I've not tested the Chew 2. I've tested the Chew 1. For me, it was a little too sparkly in the highs, a little too bright. But I've heard that the Chew 2 Gen, they have sort of corrected that in particular and made it a little more bass heavy, if I'm not mistaken. And I've not tested it, so I can't really say. But the Warner for me is one of my favorites. I've always liked the Warners. But honestly, like again, Zohaib, if you don't want to keep spending money on dongle DACs for different kinds of flavors and sound, consider the JD1 FIO, because you have those 5 different EQs you can play with. So with me, if I want to listen to classical, I'll pull this dongle DAC out and connect it to a set of IEMs. If I want to listen to rock, I prefer listening to it on the DD Hi-Fi. Likewise, I have multiple headphones because they have different flavors. I've got one dedicated DAC, desktop DAC and amp on my desk. But like when I listen to my speakers, I've got three sets of amps now. So these different things add different flavors and elements to your music. So if you don't want to keep spending money and you just want to pick up one stop shop solution, get the JD1 USB variant, because you can play around with those 5 EQ settings. Okay, where was I? Lizard. QKZHBB. Yeah, man. Even I want to listen to these. A lot of people have been asking me about this. Arvind Arora. In DDI5, DDI5 not supported DSC while use same chip and so DSC 64 price. And how is that possible? It's Arvind. It's entirely up to the manufacturer what they do, how they tune. A lot of chips, for that matter, a DAC is basically its job is to convert ones and zeros to an analog signal. Now, at the analog stage, a lot of these people can choose to tune it differently. So, for example, I've even compared the DDI-Fi to the i-Fi Go Link. Now, as similar as they should sound, they do have different chips, but a lot of people did think that they'll be very similar sounding. But they do have the differences, because at the analog stage, this manufacturer can choose to tweak certain settings, because they might be catering to a crowd that likes, an elevation in the bass, or a slight recess in the lower mids, and so on. So at that stage, at the analog stage, things can be tuned, and then if it's being sent to an amp chip, that will boost that same sort of flavored signal or colored signal over to your IEM. So maybe because there'll be various reasons why there'll be a price difference. As far as I know, somebody mentioned in my comics that the audio clear build is not as good as the DD Hi-Fi, and their audio clear DAC packed up in, I think, 3 or 4 months, and instead they picked up the DD Hi-Fi. So because the build, and they said the build is significantly better. So there are many factors involved here when it comes to pricing. It's a world of sort of discussion. Ken Adams. Main issue is finding good quality source of audio, because good earphones and DAC can also amplify the issues with audio quality. So people are going to find it annoying. So go for offline copy of file. Absolutely, Ken Adams, man, whoever you are, I need to subscribe to you. So this is something, guys. If you're not aware about it, what Ken has just stated at 7:12 p.m. is very true. It's all about the source. If you're playing crap, you're going to hear crap, especially with a good set of headphones and equipment, because basically crap in, crap out of the headphones or IEMs or whatever, or even speakers for that matter. If you've got a very transparent set of an audio source, you're going to hear that rubbish coming through. So um, as much as I like Apple Music, I can honestly say it's not as good as having a proper file. Should I say? I've been picking up stuff from HD Tracks for years. Yeah, they're a bit expensive, but at least you've got a high quality file. You can choose your sort of sampling rate, bit depth, all that sort of stuff. Uh, but the one thing I've started leaning more towards is an absolute hard copy. I've been listening to a lot of CDs lately, a lot of my vinyls. In fact, I've revived my old cassette decks. I've got an old Onkyo and an old Techniques, and there's nothing like having a hard copy of your music. And yeah, there's nothing like having the actual thing. If you're talking digital, get the actual high-res file, buy it. Streaming is, it has its limitations and its bottlenecks. Arunji, hi. Do you know where in India we get good quality speakers for DIY bookshelf speakers? DIY, I have no idea, Arun. It's a whole other topic. I've been speaking to a few guys who are into a lot of stuff like this, in the sense they're into collecting stuff and making their own bookshelves or tower speakers. But I've not really gotten down to asking them where they've gotten things done and how they've done it. But yeah, the community does exist. There are a lot of people. For that matter, Arun, if you're not on the, I think Headphone Zone has got a forum. I'm following their stuff. There are some interesting questions there, and you might be able to find somebody there. It's called the, what is it called? The Indian Audiophile Forum, on sort of this online. I access it through the Circle app, and you can talk to a whole bunch of other audiophiles there, and connect. It's worthwhile asking questions like this. I'm sure somebody will be able to point you in the right direction. Moving on, Rohit. I am not sure, but I think I can get the Type C to 3.5 dongle DAC, but I don't even have a source to get the hi-fi songs yet. Rohit, start with Apple Music. It's a very good place to start. It is good for what it is. Yeah, it's not as good like what Ken mentioned. It's got its limitations, but Apple Music is pretty good, considering. Everybody else is compressed MP3, low bit rates, low sampling rates, and so on. So start off with Apple Music. I think it's just 99 rupees a month. So you can try that out. And then Ken Adams, yeah, it's annoying when companies discontinue products which are damn good and replace them with shitty and expensive. Yes, yes, I agree with you. Then Vishnu Das, hi Vishnu, how are you? Ken, have you tried the KZ EDA series? Wait, let me Google it. Let me Google. I have not. What am I? I'm typing in Ken. KZ EDA IEM. No, I have definitely not. I have not yet tested these. Does Headphones On have these? I don't know if Headphones On has these. Give a listen to some. Okay, let me screenshot this. All these music recommendations, I screenshot and I give a listen when I have a few minutes in the day. Thanks, Vishnu. I'll check that out. Best IEMs for gaming under 2K. Uh, Savage is life. Everything under 2K is good for gaming. You don't have latency. You got better staging than any wireless earphones in that price range. Latency will be 7 to 10 milliseconds compared to what wireless earphones do, 40, 50, 60 milliseconds. If you want more bass for explosions and whatever else, consider um, some. I like the KZ ZSN Pro X a lot. I've been a sucker for that for a long time. I like the Blonde BL03. I like, the Tangzu One has always been a favorite of mine. And there was one other one that I like, sub 2000. Truthia Hola, but they've discontinued it. They've come out with the Gate, which I still want to call for. But yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's good for gaming. You just need to figure out what kind of signature you're looking for. What are the things you want to stand out to you? If you want to hear footsteps for FPS gaming, look for something that's a little bright or elevated in the upper mid range. Um, yeah, I mean, there's so much good stuff in the 2K price range. If you just lay them out on a dartboard and throw a dart at it, you're going to get a good set of IEMs anyway. They've come a long way. By saying mean an enhanced sense of soundstage with more power from the amp. Maybe my understanding of the terminology is wrong. Um, Meister, the staging from an amp usually starts happening when you are talking about really, really high end stuff. So, to give you an example, when I really experienced a staging elevation with with an amp was when, not with this, like I mentioned to you, I bought this separately because I didn't like the, it just sounded like the amp in this wasn't good enough for the headphones that I was driving. This definitely did make them sound a lot more alive. But my next amp after this was this one. In fact, I don't know if you can see it. The one over here. This is a Shitlier 2. It's got two tube amps as well in the pre-stage, and this pushes out a solid 6 watts at 32 ohms. So it drives HD 800s without an issue, HD 700s without an issue, Bear Dynamic. Uh, these are 250 ohm DT 990s. It has no issue with those. In fact, I never find myself going beyond maybe 50% volume with this because it's very powerful. And I found more of an expanse when I started using this amp, obviously, because I mean, this one is very limited, it's very restricted, but it's not just about having the power, it's about having good clean power. And like, by good clean power I mean, we're getting very high end audiophile here, but since you've asked the question, for example, I recently reviewed Fozzy Audio TB10D. It's a beautiful little tiny little class D amplifier for speakers, and it is surprisingly powerful for its price, and you can even get a more powerful power adapter to get more juice out of it. And the thing is, it was genuinely very impressive when it came to um, overall output. But when it came to imaging and staging, it was a little mellow. It was on the softer side of things. It wasn't as crisp. Now, it was producing more power than my tube amp. I've got an old tube amp over here with 4 power tubes and 2 pre-tubes. Now, this does only about 25 watts output, which is very low for a speaker output. But most old tube amplifiers do this. Now, here's the thing. I've also got an old Denon PMA IVR 2000 IVR, which is ridiculously powerful. This tube amp, which is 25 watts, compared to that, which I think does about 160 watts, both these amps managed to stage significantly better than that little fuzzy audio. Now, the fuzzy audio gives you the power, but these two amps have clean power. And by clean power, I mean there's a lot of effort that's gone into it. The components that they've used, it's not just about the tubes, it's about the transformers and everything. So, when a lot of effort has gone into stuff like that, having a much cleaner circuit, the Denon for that matter has a Faraday cage, so it doesn't even have an earthing point. It has its own internal earthing. So because of all these things, cleaner power will enhance stage, it will enhance image, and so on. So when you start, if you're talking about that, when you refer to scaling and soundstage, the only way to achieve something like that is if you start paying for, well, much higher end stuff. So stuff like your iFi Go link can all just become jokes. You need to start hitting uh, things like the shit layer 2 and everything. In fact, I've not wanted to upgrade my amp because it's a beautiful sounding amp. It's growing strong. I've never had any issues with it so far. So I find stage on this very enjoyable with my open back headphones. So if you are looking for expanded stage, do a little research. Don't just check about the stats of how much power and so on. Read up on components that they've used, quality that they've used, and see if you can see reviews before committing to something. Because how well a device is executed, the passion that goes into it usually translates to how good it sounds. Sorry, I went on a rant over there. I'm going to move on to some other questions. Lizards. Okay, Arvind. I remember the Shanling UA1 still working, corrupted. Arvind, you're asking me about the Shanling UA1S. No, I haven't used the UA1S. I think it was the UA1 Pro. Or are you asking somebody else? I don't know. I tested the UA1 Pro when Headphone Zone sent me their first box. I liked it, but I didn't do extensive testing. It was just a review, and I sent it back to them. That was on a returnable basis. Arunji, no problem. Shadab M, which is the best sounding TWS you have ever heard? No price cap. The thing is, there are many earphones and headphones and speakers and IEMs that I've heard, and not many of them spoke to me, in the sense, not many of them made me feel connected to my music. Not many of them instilled some sort of emotion in the song and the lyrics. But there's one set that really did manage to do that, and that is the Yamaha TWE7B. And the good news is it's a set of earphones that have an MRP of, I think, 24 or 28, maybe 30,000 rupees. Yamaha is in the process of getting rid of old stock. I think there's a new product coming in. So I've had some people, in fact, I was just looking at my comments in on YouTube. Some people have even bought it for as low as 6,700, 8,000 rupees, because they're just clearing older stock. If you're okay going for a product that was manufactured last year or 2 years ago, I'd say look at the E7B. It's genuinely one of the best sounding earphones, wireless earphones I've heard. So feel free to check out my review on it. And in fact, guys, if you want to buy anything, I forgot to tell you, I've got all the affiliate links down below. In fact, I should have done this before all the sales, but anyway, that's cool. Moving on. Nihar, hi, Paul, waiting for yours. Clinical 02. Yeah, it's not on my list right now, Nihar, to be honest. I've got a set of Tangzu Warners from Headphone Zone right now in front of me. And I've got a few other products still on my desk. I was just done last week. I wasn't keeping well. So there's still a whole bunch of products. The next review that's coming up is on a wireless Bluetooth speaker. I'm hoping to expand to speakers as well. So my next review on Friday will be on a wireless speaker. But yeah, I'll try and do the clinical stuff sometime. Hi Paul, what do you think about the Headphone Zone Tangzuana? Ella version. Hi. What do I think about the Headphone Zone Tangzuana? I think it's very pretty. In fact, I've got a set in front of me. It just reached me. I think it's very pretty, and I think it sounds the same, but I need to spend a little more time. I'm kind of doing a slight burn-in overnight today, so that it can sort of run in a bit. It sounds like it needs a little exercise, and I'll sit down and do my script maybe tomorrow, and I'll try and do some sort of a um, a review maybe of from Monday or the coming Friday. But I'll try. Let's see. Ken Adams, would you make a public playlist on Spotify with all the tracks you use while testing your IEMs and share that link in the video description of you? I do share all my the music I use, or the music I mention in every review is always in the description. I started doing that a while ago because I had a lot of viewers who were getting upset with me for not sharing the links to those videos. But these are no doubt compressed videos because it's just a YouTube link. Whereas, of course, if you want to check it out on Apple Music, or download the music, you can. But I do leave them in my YouTube reviews within the description itself. Silhouette Sunset, does burning in make any difference to how IEM sound? What is your opinion on it? Silhouette Sunsets, I was not a believer in the start about burn-ins. I thought it was a whole bunch of snake oil until I started doing my own sort of. The thing is, man, anything you get into, you have to go into it as a skeptic. So I got into it as a skeptic. I heard all the earphones I'd heard were what I got a set of earphones with the iPod back in the day when the iPod Photo came out. I'm talking about mid 2000s. Those earphones didn't really need run-ins and all. Those were just mass market earphones. But I have known or experienced with speakers from a younger age that they sort of mature over time to a certain extent. And call it what you want. A lot of people say, measurement wise, I don't see any difference, but it's not. I mean, I'm not a fan of measurements for various reasons. I need to make a video on that, also ranting about that. But to a certain extent, measurements don't always transfer to emotion. You cannot choose or pick up a car if you've just read the specs of A and read the specs of B and say, okay, I'm buying this because this says this on the paper, this is what it means. You have to go and drive the car, feel it, see if you like it. Do you like the feedback in the steering? Do you like the feedback in the brakes? Do you like the way it pulls? Because the paper doesn't tell you that. The way you feel, a measurement will not tell you that, or some text. So whenever I've done burn-ins, in fact, with some products that I've reviewed sound like they need a burn-in, I do exercise them. Some products do sound like they don't need one and that they just stay the same. I don't burn those in. So that's my take on burn-ins. And I personally, my personal stuff, I mean, when I'm reviewing something, I'll do a burn-in for about 20-24 hours. My personal stuff, like the LS50s you see behind me over there, I did a very gradual, slow burn-in where I played my music at 5% for the first, let's say, 20 hours, and then the next 20 hours, 10%, and then the next 20 hours, 15%. And I eventually took it up my amp up to about, I'd say, about 50% volume, which is pretty loud on that amp. But gradually, so very soft instrumental music graduated to heavier music, start from instrumental, move on to soft country, and then move on to eventually ending with stuff like dream theater. So putting slightly more of a load because things have to settle into place. They're fresh, they're new. So I mean, at least I find that I like the way my speakers sound compared to a friend of mine who bought the same set of speakers. His burn-in process was very different. He burnt it in for maybe, I think, 25 or 30 hours, and with his kind of music. So no doubt there's a difference in the rooms that we're listening to our speakers in. Speakers do play the room, but um, I have sensed or felt a difference between products when I've heard the same track when it is fresh out of the box and 24 hours later or 50 hours later. So I mean, again, go into this with a skeptic. Please don't believe anything I've said. It is your birthright to test everything everybody says. When you get into more expensive stuff with IEMs or DACs, dongles, amps, so on and so forth, be a skeptic, test it yourself. You see what, form your own opinion about burn-in, and then it's good to have your own opinion on these things as well. Sorry, moving on. You guys are asking me questions that sort of rile me up, so I'm rambling a bit. So I need to move faster. Where was I? Burn-ins. Okay. Silhouette Sunsets. I hope I responded to your this thing. Which edifier active bookshelf speaker is good under 20K? I have not heard any bookshelves under 20K, but I have heard that people do like edifier a lot. Moving on. Arvind. I have KZ EDA. It comes three balance base, high res, and 1K. 2400. Okay, that's not bad. Best IM under 5K. I listen mainly Bollywood, melody, Bengali song, and classical instrumental. Okay, you sent the same thing twice. Anirban, um, my favorite that I've heard is the in that price range is the SimGot EW200. If you're into heavy bass, it's not for you. But classical music, check out my video, my review on the EW200, the SimGot EW200. If you do want to buy it, I've got the affiliate link in this video. If you don't want to buy the affiliate link, no issue, just buy it directly from the site if you'd like to. But the affiliate link purchases do help the channel to a certain extent. But yeah, I mean, classical music wise, the EW200 was a set of IEMs that quite literally, when I was listening to, kept sort of suggesting to me, okay, Paul, maybe listen to this specific track, be it operatic or be it classical. And I heard a lot of classical stuff with that. It was beautifully clean, and the ability to carry over emotion from strings or horns or any reeded instruments was absolutely terrific for a set of IEMs that cost that much. So my favorite in this range is the EW200. You can check out my review on that. Ken Adams, proper full power plug-in DACs and amps are better than portable. Yes, absolutely. I prefer enjoying music on audio desk with a good or decent setup. Any portable. Ken, I think we need to organize a meeting. We've got a lot in common. Yeah. Anyone? I've replied to you. Who else? Thanks for that extensive and well-rounded answer about amps. Very informative. No problem, Mr. Meister. Vishnu Das, urban ambient featuring truckers. Let me screenshot that. You've been doing a lot of listening to new stuff, is it, Vishnu, lately? I've taken a screenshot of that. Ex BGMM recommend IM for beginner who have used bass bloated TWS. If you want heavy bass montage uploader, look at the heaviest bass stuff I found is 7 Hz Salonode 0 Fio JD1. And I think I prefer the JD1's bass now. I've not done any A/B testing, but the JD1 was very well structured. It held itself very well. It was a supported bass and not sort of kind of loose. The bass presentation of the 7 Hz Salno Zero I didn't like too much, but the JD1 was impressive. Check out the FIO JD1, my review on it, and I do have affiliate links if you'd like to buy from there. Rahul Buzz. I've not tested the Momentum 4, but from what I know about Sennheiser and their tunings and the Momentum series, they're good fun, man. Like, you can't really go wrong with Sennheiser. In fact, the first set of Momentums I heard was years ago. Beautiful old metal design, nice soft plush cushions. I mean, they were the headphones, the on-ear headphones, not in-ears. But I really like them. Sennheiser, I mean, if you're spending the money, you get what you pay for. Um, Anirban, you're asking me the same question, man. Okay, cool. 1500 budget earphone for bass lovers. 1500. Earphone or IEM. I can tell you IEM. 1500 earphones, I won't even recommend to anybody. Those things are just awful. But if you're looking for IEMs, KZ ZSN Pro X, FIO JD1, 7 Sal Note 0, I can say. Um, I think JD1 is the one to go for bass lovers. Don't spam, he'll get your question for sure. Yeah, Laser, thanks for this the support. Viraj Thakur, hi Paul, in a busy channel. Just want to know what an IM under 2000, which will give me a real answer to whether I should go towards an audiophile, non-detailed music guy. Yeah, man, if you got the budget for IEMs, pick up. There's like I've mentioned, KZ ZSN Pro X is still one of my favorites. The Tangzu Warner has always been one of my favorites. If you want a little more bass, FIO JD1, Salnote Zero as well is there. I don't know if they still selling the Salnote Zero, or is there a newer version? I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, Viraj, there's a lot of good stuff. In fact, I don't know if you were here earlier, but I mentioned if you have a list of all IEMs under 2000 rupees and throw a dart, whatever it lands on, you're getting really good stuff. In fact, if you're into detail and clarity and enjoying nuance in your music, anything in the 2000 rupee range is definitely a much better performer than all wireless earphones up to, I'd say, the 6 to 8,000 rupee category, and even some in the 14 and 15,000 category as well. If detail is your thing, if bass and bloatedness is your thing, I just stick to wireless earphones. Yep. Ken Adams. Burn-in is important for stuff that has a lot of movement. Like speakers, the diaphragm physically moves to significant amount of whereas earphone. Yes, correct. So please answer my question. Anirban, I think I did. Uh, his chat is slightly delayed. Thanks for that. Rohit, and the EW200 are on sale. Yeah, EW200 is a great set to own. Thank you. Please suggest good speaker price 15 to 20. Vikram, I've not heard too many speakers in the 15 to 20K, especially active speakers. But if you're looking at active stuff, I had a set of M Audio speakers during my audio engineering days. M Audio makes some very good stuff. I don't know if they still do. Then I had a very good set of Samsung monitors. I think they had about a 5-inch driver and a ribbon tweeter, in fact, which was quite cool. So active stuff, if you're looking for stuff and you want neutrality in your overall sound delivery, check out monitors. They'll give you a flatter response, and if you want to tweak it, you can use an EQ, of course. Um, Abhijit, I bought JD1 Type C, then returned this IM. Want to buy SIM, got EW200 is better than JD1. Abhijit, I mean, I like the JD1, but I prefer the EW200. But the EW200 does not have a very heavy response in the bass like the JD1 does. The JD1 is more bass enthusiastic and heavy. But if you ask me which one I choose for my kind of music, I like classical. I like a lot of instrumental stuff. I do like a lot of jazz and blues. I choose the EW200 any day. It's a lot more composed. It's better structured. It's like the JD1 is to a certain extent that guy wearing a singlet and shorts, ready to go and play basketball, and he's walked into a formal setting. That's the JD1. Whereas the EW200 is the guy who comes in a three-piece suit with a pocket watch. It's very well presented. It's very well detailed. It's very confident in its overall presentation. So I prefer the EW200 to it for those kinds of music, of course. Gopi Krishna, hi. So best sound and battery. TW is under 5K. Wow, you're the first guy asking about wireless earphones. I'm so happy that we are doing more audiophile stuff over here now. But let me answer you, Gopi Krishna. I have done a comparison between the OnePlus Buds 3, Oppo Enco Air 3 Pro, and Realme Buds Air 5 Pro. And I believe the 5 Pro has been going on terrific discounts lately. It is one of the best rounded uh, performers of the lot of these BPK earphones. Feel free to check out my comparison between the three. The Realme does work out to be, I think, the best all-rounder in that review as well. But check out my standalone review and the comparison. And of course, if you do want to buy from the affiliate link, feel free to. If you don't want to, just buy directly from the website. No issue. There's no pressure from my side. For good bass, you need very proper fitting. So it's best to try physically. Guys, I hope you're reading what Ken is saying. He's basically resonating a lot of what I stand for when it comes to sound. So there's a lot of good advice he's been passing on in the comment section. Vishnu, that was not a song suggestion. It was a missed joke. Oh, okay. There's a huge delay, so I don't know. So I've got a screenshot of what you said. Vishnu. Anyway, that's cool. I'll delete it. Vikram, yeah, I purchased the Tangzu One IEM and a DAC. Okay, Vikram, which DAC did you pick up? And did you get the headphone zone one? Did you get the very pretty headphone zone one? Oh, these are really very pretty. I don't know if you can see the detail on the headphone zone ones, but it's a very pretty design. They've done a very nice job, I must say, overall. And as far as I know, compared to the original Tangzu Warner, that I don't think had a microphone. This has a mic, so I'll be doing a microphone test as well for this review. Okay, and then so Buds 3 best under 5K. I own OP12. Buds 3, Shalini, if you're using a OnePlus phone, usually the compatibility of OnePlus earphones is best with it. But at the same time, OnePlus, Oppo, and Realme are all BBK. These are all part of the same mother company. So I'd say most of these should be fine. I have compared the OnePlus Buds 3 versus the Realme Buds Air 5 Pro versus the Oppo Enco Air 3 Pro. All are very nice in their own regard. They have their own characteristics. Sound wise, I personally like the Oppo a lot more than any of these. It's marginally, I mean, it's slightly different compared to the Realme, but the Oppo, sorry, the OnePlus is just in typical OnePlus file, in typical OnePlus style. It's just very loud and very heavy in the bass. I'm not a fan of that. You might like it. If you like it, it's for you. If you don't like that big bloatedness and loudness, I'd say the Realme is the next best bet. But if you want slightly finer details in your music, I'd say the Oppo Enco Air 3. So check out my comparison between those three. I think it's between those three for you. And the Realme, I think, has been going for very good discounts. So you can check it out. And if you'd like to buy it, feel free to use the affiliate links in my descriptions, in my reviews. If you don't want to, it's fine, no pressure. You can just pick it up from wherever you're picking it up from. Moving on. Arun Kumar, every IM I have bought under 2K is uncomfortable. We have to fit, fine. Is it comfortable? Arun Kumar, this is a very good question. Now, see, a lot of people, in fact, this is what I've told a lot of people. I've had a lot of people who leave comments who are a little bit rude, but they say, I don't like the sound of this. What are you talking about? So on. But my reviews are opinionated. It is my opinion on the product. It's not a hard and fast rule that it's exactly like this and your experience will be the same. No, I should put an asterisk and say your experience may vary and your opinion may vary, but more than sound is fit. And if you find IEMs to be causing an issue, like, see, I have, in fact, let me show you. When I wear these Tangzus or any earphones for that matter, I've found, in fact, when I shoot my videos, when I'm doing that call test on the busy main road, I've always noticed that the earphone in my left ear always sticks out more than the earphone in my right ear because I've got a larger concha. So I'll just wear these Tangzus the same way. I'll sort of push them into my ears the same amount on both sides and show you the difference. Because this is even more subjective, I'd say, than sound. So when I wear these, I look straight at the thing. I'm looking straight at the camera right now, and this is my left side. I think this side is more prominent. Now, obviously, I think one of my ears is slightly off, but this always sits in deeper, and this sits in a little, sticks out a little bit because this section of my ear that's called the concha it extrudes a little more than the one on my right. Now, my left ear and my right ear are totally different. People who use ear tips, this might be small, this might be large. There are so many differences, or sort of. I mean, we're all bespoke, man. We're all so different to each other. Uh, but what's good about this is that you figure out the normal IEM does not fit you properly. So what you can do rather is if you use a final E1000 and it's comfortable, that's like a bullet design. I think it's called a bullet design. You need to look at things that have a bullet design because those will only sit in the ear canal. They don't take any support or put pressure on the concha and any other part of the ear. So going forward, I'd say, man, like it sucks and everything, but it's good that you figured it out. So maybe stick to bullet design IEMs. Viraj, no issue, man. Glad to help. Uh, Kutan Pila, hi. Hi, please suggest dongle DAC under 1500. I'm so sorry, I can't. I've not reviewed anything under 1500. The only thing I think is close to that amount is the DD Hi-Fi. Is the DD Hi-Fi 1999? Hey, there's a sale also, guys. There's a sale going on right now on Headphone Zone in case you all don't know. Yeah, so 1999 high-res DD Hi-Fi high-res DAC. I would strongly recommend if you can put in another 500 bucks for this. I would highly recommend it. Feel free to check out my reviews on it also. It's a very capable little DAC and beautifully built as well. I recently purchased Times of 1 IM and DAC. I also subscribe to Apple Music. How do I ensure lossless music is played through IM? Do I need any other app to play lossless? No, Vikram, what you need to do is go into Apple Music, and in Apple Music you need to go when you're on the home section, you need to click on the three dots and go into settings. Okay, once you go into settings, you need to go to, damn, I've forgotten, man, I've done it so long ago. Audio quality. Now, in settings, there is an audio quality option just under spatial audio. It's in the audio section. And in audio quality, you have an option for lossless audio, on or off. Okay, you put it on. And for mobile data, if you've got high res lossless on in mobile data and you've got limited data plan, it's going to finish in half an hour. So I leave that on AAC because anyway, when I'm moving around, there's too much noise. I can't appreciate high res audio. So I keep mine on AAC high efficiency. Whereas when I'm on Wi-Fi, I keep it on the proper high res lossless, 192, and it'll tell you need to use a separate DAC for it, which is fine. And even for downloads, if you have the space on your device, put it on high res lossless. That's one thing to keep in mind. That's all you need to do. Plug in your dongle DAC, and everything else will. It's basically opening a gateway to make sure that as much data flows through. Hope that helps. Can I get your POV on headphone zone X Tangzu Warner, but can't figure whether it gives better result than I'm Viraj. I'm right now testing the Tangzu headphone zone uh, Warners. They're in front of me right now. I'm going to do a burn in overnight, and I'll start listening to them tomorrow. And my review should be out maybe either not this Friday. Friday is this speaker. Monday or a Friday upload I will do for the Tangzu. But if you do want to know how the Tangzu does perform, check out my review on the Tangzu Warner. I reviewed it about a year and a half, 2 years ago, maybe longer. I did very much like it. I still do. So check out that review if you'd like to. We've lost a light. Okay, cool. Battery is to be charged. Okay. I prefer the Tangzu Warner to the Salnote Zero, if that makes any difference. But that's my opinion. Thank you for sharing your opinion. I'm using the JD1 currently. Also have ZS10 Pro 2. Loving both. The JD1 has better stage and value. Yeah, yeah. That's. I mean, again, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it, man. I'm happy for you if you found the sound that you enjoy. But staging wider than the ZS10 Pro 2. I'd love to compare the two and see the difference. Montage uploader is buying a DAC amp around 10,000 worth it. That's 10,000 or 1 lakh. 10,000. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you check out the specs to a certain extent. If you can listen to it before committing, nothing like it. Listening to it is going to be difficult because I don't know if you need to go for the headphone events, headphone connect events, test out stuff. They carry some beautiful stuff. Um, these are like long-term products. The minute you start spending more money on these things, they do last longer for sure. Not that these are like the more affordable things don't last; they do last. But um, I mean, if you're somebody who wants to keep upgrading, it's a different story. But in the audio spectrum or audio world, there's no real upgrading that happens per se. Usually, audio doesn't evolve as quickly as technology. Technology, you see some things new every day or every week or every month, whereas audio has a very gradual sort of evolution that happens because it is physics, it is science. At the end of the day, it depends on how much you can test the edges of physics with sound. So if you spend 10 grand on a good DAC amp, I think it should be good. I think iFi makes some good desktop setups. In fact, I wanted to get my hands on them for review, but I've not had the time yet. But yeah, 10 grand should get you something good. Ashok Kumar, so I got the EW200 and love it. Should I get the dongle DAC because this IEM is fairly loud at 22 volume in my PC? Ashok, congratulations on the EW200. It's one of my favorites. I paired it with this one, the iFi Go Link. Check out my review on this if you'd like to. It's a very neat little dongle DAC. If you have the budget, you can consider this. If you don't want to spend this much, for half the price, you can get the DD Hi-Fi high-res DAC. I have a comparison on these two as well. So you can listen to the sound chapter and see which one you prefer because both of them do have their own little bits of color that are the main differences between the two, and of course the build quality. Um, and again, feel free to buy from my affiliate link if you'd like to. If you don't want to, you don't feel pressured. That's no issue. And the thing is, you mentioned about 22 volume. It's not just about the volume. It's more about clean sound from a good DAC because it's converting the ones and zeros to an analog signal. Very important process. and the amp has to have, it has to be a good chip to give you a clean sound. If you're using a chip that's not very good in your PC, you can get hissing or buzzing. It won't give you a cleaner presentation of, it won't amp the signal as cleanly as it should. And amp is not only about volume, it's about cleanliness of presentation as well. So I do like the i5 Gold Link, very nicely pairs with EW200. Moving on, Gopi Krishna, thank you for answering. Are the new Realme Bud 6 Pro as good as the 5? I have no idea about the Bud 6 Pro. I have not compared, bought it or tested it or compared it, but I have heard that they are practically the same earphones. There have been some people who've said they sound the same. I wouldn't know because I've not tested it yet. Part of me doesn't want to review it because I've checked some of its specs online. At least on paper, it looks exactly the same. So part of me thinks I don't want to waste that money on a set of earphones that sound the same as 5 Pro. I don't know why they've got it. There might be just maybe just a few features, and maybe they're using the same hardware. I don't know. But honestly, the 5 is pretty damn good. So even at the prices it's going for right now, it's good value for money. So you can consider going for the 5 Pro itself. If you do want to wait for the 6 Pro, I don't know if I'll be doing a review, so I can't really comment on it. Ashok Kumar, Chew 2 under 2K is very comfortable. Yeah, yeah. I think the Chew's design is quite nice. Abhijit, which one is better for sound? Lipotech wireless or SimGod? SimGod, no brainer. Lipotech is wireless. It caps at aptex. As much as I like aptex, it is still wireless. The only set of earphones, wireless earphones that I like over and above the Lipotech is the Yamaha TW3B, which I have a comparison on as well. If you would like to have a look, feel free to. So it should all fit. Come, you get a custom IEM. Yes, this is also correct, Laser, but I don't think it's as easy to do, is it? Unless you know, man, like let us know if there's a guy who can do some custom stuff. Rohit Kataria, hi. I have the same thing with my right here. Ashok Kumar, I'm looking at Oracle D8, which does not have an amp, or should I go with D07, which has an amp as well? Ashok, I've not tested the audio coolers. I've just heard from somebody that they are similar looking to the DD Hi-Fi, and that their build isn't as good, and they have given up prematurely. And the same person who commented did mention as well that he's picked up the DDI-5 and finds the build to be significantly better than the audio killer. So if that's important to you, longevity is important to you, you can consider that. Or if you'd like to make your own mistakes, I'm not saying that they'll definitely fail. It's important to test these things out yourself as well. Don't listen to what other people have to say. Try out the stuff, but I would recommend if you can get something with a dedicated amp chip, it is better. Moving on. Ken Adams, RHA used to make very brilliant audiophile grade earphones with very good sound and build quality, but unfortunately, those are not discontinued. Listen to headphones on good devices. Yeah, I've heard about RHA. In fact, I'm wondering where one of my viewers is. Matthias, he mentioned to me that he used to own a few sets of RHA, and he really used to sing praise a lot about them. So, I mean, I've not heard any RHAs yet, but I'd like to sometime. Teddy, you found the 200 Sparkly. What were you pairing it with? Chinmay Rajan, did you check out the Ziat XJ? No, I did not. If you're asking me that question, I did not. I've been a little caught up trying to stay a little, trying to recover from something I had last week. Thank you for answering, Paul. Just like I suffer the same problem. My right ear. Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of people have this issue. It's best to find what you're comfortable with, and it's good you have Arun Kumar. The fact that you know that the E1000 fit you well, it's a step in the right direction. A lot of people don't even do that experimentation. Then Viraj, hey, I'm going to buy headphones on Tangzu Warner. Last question. If you're buying the headphones on Tangzu Warner, you can check out my review on the sound. I do have an affiliate link down here in this live video because I do have this set with me, which I'm currently reviewing. As far as I know, it is very well. I mean, it sounds great. The sound hasn't changed, but it's a beautiful set. It's a nice design, and I mean, it's a Warner. I've always liked how it sounded for one. So that's that. Raj, I have Apple Music on the laptop. So except for IEM and laptop, do I need something else for the great output? Yeah, get one of these. Plug this into your laptop. I plug in the Wi-Fi Go link into my laptop if I'm testing IEM. Sometimes I plug it into my phone. I sometimes plug it into my old music setup. I sometimes plug it into my desktop DAC and amp setup as well. But yeah, if you're plugging to your laptop, even if you got an Apple, I know a lot of people say, "Oh no, Apple's the best." No, they have got a headphone out that can support higher impedance headphones. Yes, but that is the amping capability of it. Its DAC is not good at all. I've plugged this in, and this is superior than the internal DAC. It sounds definitely much better than the internal DAC in my Mac. So I'd say pick up a dongle DAC any day. Check out my comparison between the DD Hi-Fi and Hi-Fi Go Link if you'd like to, and affiliate links if you'd like to support, but don't feel pressured. Laptop. Okay, I didn't have 3.5 jack. What can I do? My device JBL Tune 770. What you want? You've got the Tune 770 NC. So I'm failing to understand what's happening here. I didn't have 3.5 jack. What can I do? My device is JBL Tune 770 NC. What can I do under 1000? There is no use of a 2K DAC. Yeah, I agree with that because the Tune 770 NC isn't exactly cut out for high-res audio. Just get an adapter. You get, I think, USB-C to 3.5 adapters for less than $1,000. They don't have any hardware in them. They just work off the hardware of the system or phone you're connecting it to, which won't be the best. But I mean, it's just as good as using them as Bluetooth. Yeah, you can do that. Silverhand. I went for Meze Audio Alba recently and paired it with headphones on DD Hi-Fi, and it sounds better than Quintet plus Moondrop Dawn Pro. The budget market is going crazy. Yes, it is, and I really do want to test out these Mezes. A lot of people have been talking about it lately. Vikram. Yeah, in fact, Silverhand, this is where my diminishing returns is becoming an absolute reality now. It's crazy. The budget world is really leveled up over the last few years. Becoming I got Abigail Pro, plus 1K. Okay, there you go. Abigail. Ashok Kumar, my brother, was a weird, balanced. I know still a stage with 200. Tuning switches works basics deeper than Chu 2 and tech. Wait, okay, that's interesting. Ashok Kumar, do check them out. Laser not in India. I'll be flying to Singapore. Guess yeah, that Singapore is a place. Yeah, Lizard. I've also heard there's a lot of nice stuff you can do over there. In fact, let me know how that works out and what you do. Um, because there's, like you said, there's nothing like getting a bespoke set of IEMs. Uh, AK256 KZ ZSN Pro X versus ZSN Pro 2, which is better? This question of better usually bothers me a lot. So I'll say better depends on what you regard as better and what I regard as better. But I went to the recent there was a Headphone Zone Connect event that I went to, and I did a A/B testing of ZSN Pro X and Pro 2, and I still prefer the Pro X compared to the Pro 2. I believe there's going to be a Pro X2 as well, so that might be an upgrade on the Pro X. But the Pro X did sound fuller. It did sound a little more enthusiastic. I mean, a little more. It's not that the Pro 2 sounds bad. It's a very nice sounding IM. Just that I liked the character of the Pro X compared to the Pro 2. Zuko TV, DD Hi-Fi or Hi-Fi Go Link. It just so happens I've got a comparison between these two. Check them out. There are very slight differences between them. Uh, if build is important to you, go for the DD Hi-Fi. If sound is important to you, both are very similar. They're very close, but there are slight differences between them when it comes to sound. There is slight coloration differences between the two. But I personally prefer the Hi-Fi Go Link. This is definitely one of my favorite sort of portable DAC amps. It's beautifully constructed, and the way it sounds, I just really like the way it sounds. So feel free to check out my reviews if you haven't, and check out that comparison if you'd like to. And if you want to buy, affiliate links are there. If you don't want to buy from the affiliate links, don't feel pressured. You can just buy it directly from the website. That's no problem. Ashok Kumar, KZ Vader Balance CCA Trio better than okay. Hi-Fi Gold Link. Okay, Ashok. Best tune KZ under 5K probably other brands. Uh, cases- I think this is a general discussion going on between you guys. That's cool. I paid EW200 with just a normal dongle DAC, and what problem is everyone is talking about in right? I joined late. Okay. Best IM. Best IM under 10K. Jit, I've not tested too many. In fact, I've tested mainly SimGod IEMs. I've just tested a set from Rose Techniques, Quiet Seas, but those are around five ish. Then I've got another one from Rose Techniques sitting on my desk. I've tested a whole lot of stuff under 2000. Um, but a set that I really like, if you're willing to go a little over 10K, is the SimGot EM6L. It's a very mellow, soft sounding, but at the same time confident sounding set of IEMs. You can check out my review on it. I think it goes for about 10,999 or something. I don't know if I've left it in my affiliate links down below, but let me just check and tell you how much it goes for. SimGod has been doing some very good stuff. In fact, I like all of their stuff. There's only one set of IEMs that I found a bit questionable. 10,990 SimGod EM6L is going for. So you can give that a look. Give that review of mine a look if you'd like to. Niranjan, did you ask me this question last time? What's my pick between Yamaha and Sennheiser? I mean, eh, they're two very different brands. It's Japan, Germany. It's comparing Honda to maybe an Audi or a Volkswagen or something. They're two very different brands. They have different sort of approaches towards what they're doing, different build qualities, different sound signatures, and so on. They are different. They approach sound slightly differently, and um, if you're talking about specific products, I can maybe decipher a few of them, but as brands, they stand for very different things. Best time for EDM listening under 2K. You need something bass heavy. So Fear JD1. It's great. It's a very good performer in the bass. Tarun, I'm here to talk about audio. Evil core, passive versus active speakers. Which will sound better? If I have a very good amplifier, will it sound best ignoring the price? Beautiful question, Evil Core. I think I spoke about this last time, but passive versus active, very different setups. Take for example, the speakers behind me, the LS50s. These are passive. They also come in an active variant. Now, the active variant, of course, is a lot more expensive, but Kef has made sure that they've put the right DAC, the right amp, the right crossovers, and everything in the active variant of this. Now, the problem with the active variant, I wouldn't say it's a problem. A lot of people like it, but my issue with it is because it's active, it's got this hardware. It's got it in the speaker. It's got the heat sinks. It's got the amp. It's got this. It's got that. It's all there. It's done. Full stop. It's a one-stop shop. You buy it, you set it up, you listen to it, enjoy it. I prefer having a passive setup the same way I like having, different dongle DACs, different amps, because these can add different levels of coloration to your music. So some amps or some speakers or some, different hardware elements in your loop, I like, because some things work better with different genres of music. Some things bring out more emotion when you mix and match them compared to a different sort of set of mixing and matching. So I like passive because it gives me the liberty to play around with that. I can, you know, it's like if you pick up a guitar, you're not just stuck to that one guitar for the rest of your life. You've got different strings you can put, and different brands of strings, different tensions, different kinds of material will change the overall tonality of it. The same thing applies to speakers and amps and so on and so forth. So for me, I prefer passive over active any day, because it's I enjoy the playing with audio. It makes me connect to it a little bit more. So I do prefer that. Like for that matter, active speakers I've usually had, in fact, for my desk setup, and at least when I was doing my audio engineering and all, I had a set of M Audio active monitors. I had a set of Samson active monitors, beautiful speakers, all of them. But that was when I wanted a neutral response, editing stuff. Whereas uh, to enjoy music, I do prefer passive any day. Montage uploader EM6L versus EA1000, EA1000 any day. Beautiful set of IEMs, absolutely beautiful set. I've been using it, well, kind of more regularly than the EM6L, because it is a little bit richer without being aggressive in detail. It somehow sounds a little more sort of enthusiastic about bringing your music to you. The EM6L is a bit softer in the higher range because it does have BA drivers. It's got four BA drivers, if I'm not mistaken. And those BA drivers, as you know, work on reads. And the physics of a read is that it will give you a softer response than a dynamic driver. So I also like that because it means lesser ear fatigue. So it depends on my mood. Depending on that, I will listen to the EM6L. So if I have the time to game, which I sometimes only do once a year, I'll use the EM6L because it's softer, so I can play for hours on end. So it's not nothing is very shrill. Moving on. Ashok, money plans on T10 same is to Pro. Apparently, it's 5K cheaper. No, I I don't even know what this is. What is the RT T10? Let me check. Planar driver. Oh, this looks interesting. You know what? I might just try and get a review unit. Um, let's see. I'm still expanding my folio when it comes to IEMs. I've only done a whole bunch of 2K, a few. The only one I've done close to 20,000 was the EA1000. The only one I've done above 10,000 is EM6L. And then I've done the 5K region with the EW200. And then recently the Quiet C from Rose Techniques. And I've got another set from Rose Techniques that's a little more expensive. So I'm still expanding. Uh, so I'll try and get there. Laser, I just find it hard to recommend KZs to anyone since their quality control is pretty much non-existent and cannot stand their marketing materials. They hyped KZ Krilla and you know what, Lasered? You have the upper hand in this conversation because I don't own a set of KZs. I don't. I've always wanted to buy a KZ ZSN Pro X for myself because I really like the way they sounded. But having said that, I remember, since you've mentioned this, I remember, that whole see-through resin thing is very cool. Like even this Tangzu Warner has it. But I remember the KZ having signs of exposed glue, like it had bled out and they hadn't wiped it or cleaned it or sealed it properly. So I can see where you're coming from. So if you have lived with this and experienced it, I mean, I can't debate that at all. I mean, if long term is very important, like if you're spending money on anything, whether it's 50 rupees or 50 lakhs on audio equipment, you deserve something that lasts a minimum of about 2 to 3 years. It should definitely take you longer than that. And like for example, these things I have are over 10 years old. I mean, at least all the open backs I have are well over 10 years old, and I've not had issues with them. Then again, they were more premium things. So KZs, man, I have to side with you. If it doesn't last, it doesn't last. Laser Kira 20. Yes, who is that? Hi, what happened? I'm in the middle of something, sweetie. My daughter, sorry. Yes, okay. Have any plans to review Truthya Hexa? No, no immediate plans for Truthya Hexa, but I don't know. It's an older IEM also now. I think by the time I get to it, I don't think people will be interested in knowing about it. Hi, sweetie, what happened? What do you want to tell me? What happened? Where's Mama and Granny? Daddy's on camera right now. You want to see? Ask Mama to show you on her phone. Go ask Mama to show you on her phone. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Yeah, sorry about that. Uh, would I recommend the SimGot EA 500 LM? See, I recently reviewed the LM. It's a nice set of IEMs, but I wasn't too taken with the tweak they've done in the higher range. Um, it's kind of unlike SimGot to do that, but they have done it. So I mean, it was a bit weird. It's a nice set of IEMs. I mean, you can check out my review on it, but I'm kind of on the fence about it. Considering what SimGot has been doing all this time, I find it strange that they've tuned these IEMs in that sense. But check out my review on it if you'd like to. Akhil, hi, hey Paul, you have wanted to ask good deal at one point. Should I go for the Twitter gate? Akhil, I did not like the ZDX. I found it a little too bright for my taste. I have not tested the Truthia Gate, but if it's anything like the Hola, I will prefer it over the ZDX for sure. JD1 or KZ Caster? I have not heard the KZ Caster. I don't want to give you wrong information. Zuko TV. Because I'm confused in both. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I haven't tested the caster, so I don't want to give you a wrong information. But if you want to check out my review on the JD one, I break it down, I think, reasonably well as to how it sounds. So you can check out that review if you'd like to. Uh, what else? Hey, Paul, I have Samsung Galaxy Buds Pro. Should I buy Realme Buds 5 Pro at 3.5? Uh, Jay, I don't think you should bother with Realme Buds Air 5 Pro unless you really want it. I have not tested the Samsung Galaxy Buds Pro, but Samsung, as you know, acquired the Harman Group in 18, I think, or was it 16? 16 or 18, they acquired the Harman Group, and that team has been backing Samsung, and Samsung usually takes the better elements of sound to their products now instead of towards the other brands that are catered to Harman, or should I say are connected with Harman. Sound wise, you may not like the Realme Buds 5 Pro compared to yours, but I mean, if you just want to have a little fun with the 5 Pro, I did find them to be very good performance for calls. Check out my reviews if you'd like to on them, no problem. And if you're buying affiliate link, if you want to, if you don't want to, no pressure, no problem. Having Rohit having dinner. That's cool, man. I would have joined you, but I don't want to be slobbering and getting my beard all dirty on camera. Thanks, will explain. I'm going for passive setup. No issue, you will go. Abhijit, can I enjoy the bass on SimGot EW200? I just want to feel the bass, but not much. No, Abhijit, no. I will not recommend the EW200 to anyone who wants bass. The EW200 is not tuned to be bass heavy. It is, in my opinion, more towards classical music, bringing out emotion, cleanness, trueness in audio. It is not bass enthusiastic. It does not want to rattle your eardrums. It's a flatter bass response. So the EW200 is not going to give you an elevated bass experience for sure. Ashok Kumar, the 10 is probably the best I under 7K. Reddit prefers Hexa to the 500 LM. Okay. What's the best 2.0 passive speaker under 12K? And tell me what all stuff we need to build the setup. I have no idea. No idea. You will call a passive setup under 12K. I have not looked at anything passive. Or very honestly speaking, I started looking at speakers a lot when I was wanting to buy a set of speakers, and my journey with the LS50 started in 2012. And in 2018, I got this tick that, hey man, I need to be a little more connected with my music. So I went out looking for speakers. I heard a whole bunch of Polk audio. I heard a whole bunch of Kev speakers as well. I heard a whole bunch of Klipsch, and so on, and from various budgets. I started at, I think, 15, 18, 20, 25, 30 grand, and slowly started going up. And eventually, the guy I went to demo all these speakers at his showroom, he said, "Sir, what are you looking for?" I said, "You know what? In 2012, I heard the LS50s." He just put off his system. He said, "Sir, why are you wasting my time? If you heard the LS50s, why don't you just buy them?" So ever since I bought the LS50s, I've not looked at speakers to buy, and I'm not even reviewing them yet on my channel. So I can't really guide you for speakers just yet. I'm so sorry about that. Lizard, KZ has so many controversies in the past. Yeah, I know. Like they had fake dummy BA drivers that did not work at all. They do silent returns to their products without any mentions of it. Was this legitimate, Lizard? I've even heard about this dummy driver thing, but was it genuinely a dummy driver thing or was it failed BA drivers? Because if you do get substandard BA drivers, they're not long term. That I do know. So it's possible that they were packing up. I mean, I do want to give a big company like that the benefit of the doubt, but I mean, yeah, these are reasons to be a skeptic. It's very important to be a skeptic when it comes to anything, not just products you're buying for audio. Ken Adams, almost all Chi-Fi products have QC issues, and it's all a gamble in the budget and mid-range segment. Yes, swing the cables and connectors, absolutely, yeah. Kind of have to agree, Zenison Pro 2, I won't sounded great after upgrading to balance cables. Yeah, yeah, balance cables make a big difference. I've heard them once, and it's a big difference. A way to balance ECH is basically an upgrade caster. Let's shout it up. Okay, cool. Lizard, I have the. I can send them for a review if you're interested. It's a planar which is very similar to the man laser. That sounds very interesting, but I as much as I'd like to do it, I've got so much on my plate right now. I don't want to take a set for review and then hold on to it for a long time. So I don't know. Maybe hit me up on Instagram and we can chat if you want me to do something like that. But I do have time constraints with work and with YouTube and products that are pending. In fact, I think I've upset a few people. This brand that sent me this speaker to review sent it to me, I think over a month and a half ago. I think they're a bit upset that I have not reviewed it yet. But I mean, to be honest, I was waiting for some information from them because some of the information didn't sort of make sense because their manual said something and their website said something. And one thing I stand for is truth. So I wrote to them and said, I need this clarity. And I didn't hear from them for a long time. So only after getting that information did I finish the script. And in fact, this is being edited right now, the timeline. So once it's done, it should be live on Friday. But yeah, I'm just loaded with stuff to do, man. So I don't want to sort of put that on you where I take a personal product and I can't send it back soon. But thanks so much. That's very sweet of you. That's very kind of you, Laser. I really appreciate that. It's because of guys like you that I even run this channel. So thanks for that. No problem, Jay. That's no issue. Akhil, thank you. I wanted to get Blonde BL03, but heard they have a really bad wire quality and probably too old now. I wouldn't call them too old, Akhil, but yes, I have heard about the wire issue, and I would have told you that if you asked about them. When will Oppo Enco 4 Pro come out? I have no idea because Oppo is not in touch with me. As much as I've tried to be with them, I don't know. But the Oppo Enco Air 2 Pro was in the market for about a year and a half, and then the 3 came out. So I don't know if they'll have the 4 out so soon within a year after the previous launch. They might stretch it again for a year and a half. There's no knowing. Again, it's just speculation. Pratik, yeah, there have been a lot of people today. How are you, Pratik? You've been quiet. When did you find out about? When did I find out about IEMs? Well, I've known about IEMs because, especially during my audio engineering days, a lot of guys on stage used to wear IEMs, and that's what they are. They're in-ear monitors. So they were never considered for music listening, at least back then. I think they've become more popular in the mid 2010s, maybe to 2015 16 onward. People have started doing that, and a lot of these chi-fi brands have been born from that era, 2015 16 18 20 21 22 even. So now they're becoming more commonplace, and I only started reviewing them maybe about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, when Headphone Zone, uh, I think they figured that they liked my work, so they sent me a box of IEMs under the 2K price range. So that was the first time I reviewed any IEMs. Otherwise, I hadn't reviewed any, but I've known about IEMs before. Abhijit, what about Kiwi Ear Cadenza? Cadenza, I've heard good things about, but I've not tested it yet. Abhijit, Zuko TV, thoughts on clinical new Hangout online store? Not checked it out, man. I don't have the time to check out all this, but I didn't even know about this. This is news to me. I mean, I'm ready to spend 10 to K only on passive speakers. What are the recommendations? No, you will call. What I did say, if you were away from keyboard, what I did say is I've not um, reviewed any speakers. I've not even checked on speakers ever since I bought my LS50s in 2018, because I've not wanted to get into that again, because I found my kind of my happiness. But I do want to expand into reviewing speakers. If or when I do that, I might be able to answer you, but not right now. I don't want to give you any wrong information. But what you can do is, what I'm saying is, in this price range, I do know that there are some monitors that should be good enough. Check out things like M Audio, and so on. I think Adam is making some good stuff. Adam has monitors, studio monitors. They might be within this price range. Check out Bajao.com. Bajao got some good active stuff. But if you want passive, I don't know who makes good passive speakers in this range. That's a difficult one. Ashok Kumar also, let's show makes RT products for planar driver. See, checks. Okay, is Earphone Air Pro 3 still worthy? Yes, absolutely. It's still one of my favorites. Brixton 1508. It's a very capable set of earphones. In fact, of all the wireless earphones I've reviewed in a certain price range, I like the Yamaha TWE 3B, and after that is the Earphone Air Pro 3, because it does support aptics, and it's not like, a lot of these earphones say LDAC and high res, but a lot of that is just marketing. The bottleneck is the driver. It's not able to carry that much information to you in an analog form, whereas the earphone is actually good with aptics, and it's a fun sounding set of earphones, even in high res through aptics. I don't know if I've got the affiliate link for it down below, but you can buy it from there if you'd like to. If you don't want to, no issue, no pressure. Less base quantity, more quantity. Check out YouTube reviews, the weight of balance. Okay. Yamaha launched with updated Bluetooth. Yeah, but wasn't it a little pricey? I think, Pratik, the E3C was going for. I think I saw some sellers selling it for 12,000 and all. It's not worth 12,000. It should be around. Uh, Yamaha's MRP should be 8,990 or something along those lines. Best IM, Devadarshan. Hi, best IM around 2K. If you want heavy bass, the latest one I've heard that I like is this Fio JD one. It's actually very, very hefty in the bass without being bloated. Oppo 4 Pro launching soon. Launched in China. Consider under 5K. Okay, August, September maybe. Thanks for that, Pratik. Audio crackling? Is it still crackling? My levels seem okay. I'm not peaking in my levels. Zuko TV, thanks for the information. KZZSCX was probably the first time I heard about. Okay, what are your thoughts on Fat Freak Maestro? Maestro Mini Girish. I don't even know what you're talking about. Is this a music? Is this an artist? Is it a music thing? I don't know. Yamaha sells it for 8.5. Yeah, so 8.5 is about right. 8.5, 8.9 should be correct. I don't know if I'll be able to get a review unit. Maybe I'll hit up the guys at Yamaha and see if they have. Sudo O9, no. 2 Pro cannot defeat any IM. Oppo cannot defeat. It's not. No. Detail wise, no. There's one product that I found to be very Oppo Enco Air 2 Pro sounding, which was the Tozo T10. It sounded nice and warm, and it doesn't have active noise cancelling, but it was a very nice sounding set of earphones. You can check out my review on it. I think it's available on Amazon as well. It's a nice sounding set of wireless earphones, but yeah, again, I wouldn't. You can't compare the Oppos and all to IEMs, especially if you're looking for detail. Laser. Okay, cool. This is what, man. I don't know. There are so many brands out there now. Fat Freak. I mean, it's kind of insulting to shout out that name, especially if you're in a mall and there are people around. But what I'm saying is, like, there are so many new brands. In fact, I hadn't heard of Rose Techniques until they sent me an email. I had no idea this brand even existed. and then I mean, they sent me some stuff for review. So there is just too many brands coming out. Yeah, Toto does. Yeah, Toto is one of my favorites. They're pretty cool. Very nicely mixed music. Very nicely mixed music. Akhil DB, I really like and got into your channel from your review on the Aslan Kern Bluetooth DAC XP10. Yes, I like that. I wanted to know your thoughts on it since it's old. Model has Bluetooth for. Akhil, I am still using my Aslan Kern XB10. I primarily got it because I've got an older vehicle and I wanted Bluetooth and I wanted slightly better resolution. So it does have aptX support. Now, I've used it cross country. I've driven to Goa with it and back, and the battery honestly holds at maybe 3 hours, 3.5 hours. But what's good is you can plug it in and leave it. So I leave it plugged in. There are times when I just let it do the full cycle and let it die also. But you can leave it plugged in and it will work. And if I'm broadcasting from my phone at a higher bitrate, it does support aptics at the same time. But again, if you set higher bitrate on your data, it'll finish very quickly. So I just use AAC on my phone. But if I've got downloaded stuff, I play that, which will automatically use the aptX codec with the XB10. And the XB10 is a very capable little music puck. I quite like it. I'd still recommend it. Bluetooth 4 is fine because anyway, when you're using it, your phone is only a few feet away, because either you're running with IEMs or you're listening to it at your desk or you're listening to it in the car. So the phone and this Ashland Khan are still always close. So 4 is not going to have any connectivity issues, or at least I haven't had any connectivity issues with it. The unit I have, in fact, I bought before Headphone Zone knew about me, and I did a review on that, and I like it very much. It still works very well, and no issues. I think it's about 2 years old, and very happy with it. Oh, it is discontinued. That's pretty sad. I think whatever limited stock was available was still being sold from Headphone Zone in India, but I think it was discontinued abroad initially. You're talking about Fat Freak. Let me see. Fat Freak, is Fat Freak on Headphone Zone? Oh, it's Fat Frequency. Okay, so it's not Fat Freak. Okay, okay. They've got some cool. These are expensive IEMs, man. They start at like 45,000, 75,000, 1,65,000, 1,80,000, 2,70,000. Wow, these are next level. In fact, I've never heard. The IEMs I've ever heard are the SimGot EA 1000. So I'm sure these things have a lot more to offer. Sadab, yes, I do have my own whole bunch of records. In fact, I was toying with the idea of starting, more audiophile stuff when it came to LPs and so on. In fact, if you've not seen it, Shadab, and if you're into LPs, check out my video on the damn. What is it called? I've forgotten, man. Gee, I'm getting old. Uh, can I leave a link in this chat? I don't know. Who was I talking to? Shadab, yeah. Let me see if this works. Check out this link if you're into records. It's a very very sweet story. I don't know if you've seen this video already, but I kind of took this from my uncle who was planning on junking it. I do have my own record player. That's a separate one. But this specific story that I've sent you the link of is it's from the 1960s. This record changer. It's not a usual player. It's a record changer. So you could stack 6 records on it, and it would mechanically automatically change after each record was finished. So it would finish A side, move out, the tone arm would move, and then the next disc would drop. Then it would play first track to last track, and then it would do this cycle. And it's a very cool system. In fact, on the last track, it would know which was the last record and stop playing the entire set. Very cool. Check out this video if you haven't already. It's a very neat thing. Blonde Music is one of the best warm sounding IMs I have found under 2K. Yes, the wire quality is poor due to its weight. It will fall off me as we lie down. Yeah, simple thing, get a nicer wire. The IEMs really sound better than Oppo and Co. Yes, yes, Nihar, yes. By better, depends what you mean by better, Nihar. See, Oppo does have an audiophile heritage. Oppo does have cleaner sounding sound than Realme and OnePlus and most other things. I like Oppo because it's a cleaner sound compared to the others. It's better detailed. But if you want an even better overall dynamic presentation of music, uh, cleaner presentation in the strings, in the horns, in vocals, in bass, in shimmers, IEMs are superior than wireless any day. Really expensive. Maybe you can get your headphones on. Yeah, lasered. I'll try. Melvin Matthew John. Hi. Do you think the Truth here Zero Red is overrated? I myself am eyeing to get one, but confused about its base response. Melvin, I have not tested it yet, so I don't want to give you any wrong information. Um, I don't know. I'm usually when there's a lot of hype behind a product, I'm a little skeptical about it until I listen to it myself. It might be difficult to get a hand on it and review it yourself, but try it if you can, because I don't have any specific plans about reviewing this one in particular anytime soon. Just buy one and try it. You need a good quality. So it's Spotify issue. Yeah, Lost Slug 50. I just bought a JBL Live 770. ANC feels weak. Uh, the ANC to me was just right because I am near a very busy road. So when I'm testing all these things out, there's honking, there's cars, my fan is on. It's actually a very noisy place that I'm in, which is why I normally record all my videos at night. I can't record videos during the day usually because there are pressure horns going past with trucks, and the ANC usually works pretty well. If you do find that it's on the weaker side, maybe check out the settings in the app. If it's still on the weaker side, maybe do a factory reset and see if it works fine again. And then another thing is the seal. The seal is important. I found that these were sitting on my ears. They're not supposed to be on ears. They're supposed to be over ears. So I adjusted it so that my ears fitted inside. Once you create a proper seal around your ears and your ears are tucked inside, the seal is better. So that should also help the ANC. Try it out. It may or may not work for you. Again, it's up to you. It's a matter of preference. Vanch, hi bro. I'm thinking of buying Moondrop Chew 2. Should I buy headphones on DAC? Will it be worthy? I found that DACs usually help. I can't comment on the Chew 2 because I've not tested it. But the headphones on DD Hi-Fi DAC is a very nice one, very capable. I like that, and I do like the Hi-Fi Go Link. Both great DACs. Check out my comparisons between them. If you'd like to buy these, feel free to buy from my affiliate link if you'd like to support. But don't feel pressured. You can buy from the link directly as well. Yeah, Shadab, check it out. It's a very nice story. It's a beautiful machine. Vansh, okay, that's the same question. Vansh, Nihar, thanks a lot. Now my doubts are clear. Happy to help, Nihar. Pratik, ANC depends on headphones fit. To be clear. Yep, audio feels a bit muffled. Can you help me out? Um, just try the seal and do a factory reset. Lost luck 50. That should help. It shouldn't sound muffled. In fact, the tune I do sometimes prefer with certain genres compared to the live. And another thing you need to do, Lotus, is one thing I do is I go into my settings. I've got a Samsung phone. I go into my settings, I go into sounds and vibrations and scroll down. Sound quality and effects. What a lot of people don't realize is that Dolby Atmos for gaming, equalizer, adaptive sound, Q upscaler, these things are sometimes on. So I switch it off all the time because whenever I'm doing my review, I want to hear the sound of the product I'm listening to and not any DSP that's happening on my phone or anywhere else. So maybe check your phone settings and see if all these enhancers are on or off. If they're on, put them off, and then later figure out what you want to tweak and what you don't want to tweak. But that could be a reason why it's sounding muffled as well. Akhil, thank you so much. Hopefully, I can find XP10 elsewhere. Do you have any suggestions for Bluetooth DACs under 5K to use with Audio Technica? Few around. Honestly, I've tried some other Bluetooth DAC amps like the XP10. None of them have come close. Honestly, like it's good hardware they're using in the XP10. Maybe write to the guys at Headphone Zone if it's out of stock. Ask them if it's coming in stock again. If you're not too keen on second hands, I understand, but if you're open to it, ask them as well. They might be able to help you. Check out in the audiophile forum as well that I mentioned. Headphone Zone does have an audiophile forum. You can post a question there. If anybody does have, they might be willing to sell it to you. Try that as well. Vansh, this iFi Go link I've had over the last year and a half. Usually, this plugs into my phone, and this is hanging off my amp with a very heavy QED cable. Those are very tough cables, very thick, fat, heavy cables, and it's normally being tugged. And I don't know if you can see this, but this is the edge of the cable that's getting tugged. I don't see any significant wear and tear on it. Normally I would expect something, but there is really no wear and tear. In fact, this is one thing I mentioned when I compared the DD Hi-Fi DAC to the Hi-Fi Go Link, and honestly, this is held up pretty well. It's a year and a half old, I think, definitely over a year, maybe, but it's held up. I don't leave it hanging out of my pocket when I'm moving around. I'm usually holding my phone if I'm listening to this. So I'm not a rough user per se, but still, with the way I leave it when I'm listening to my music system, when I do use this, there's a lot of load on these sections, and they're holding pretty well. Pretty well. Concern I had as well in my review and my comparison, but it's held up pretty well. No issue. Yeah, what Pratik has said, man, turn off Dolby Atmos, blah blah blah. I don't like all that. It's just it makes things worse for me. My roommate is watching Game of Thrones on his iPad, and I can hear the dialogue easily with ANC on. It's as if the ANC only blocks out the wind noise. I guess they are good to wear in the Lotus Luck. I figured out what it is. ANC does not cater to voice elimination. ANC, the whole principle of ANC is it listens for droning sounds, droning from your AC motor, droning from your fan, droning from an engine in an aircraft or a cab or a bus, droning sounds. If you're sitting in a crowded place, there's a noise floor that exists when everyone's talking. That drone, that frequency, that signal that's generated, it hears that and plays an opposing frequency. Only then does that sound negate. Only then does that sort of noise reduce. For random things like claps, or sorry, I might have blown somebody's ears by clapping if you got earphones on, but sudden sounds of talking, it doesn't have the time to understand variations in pitch and tone and so on, so it cannot generate an opposing frequency. So that is mainly the passive isolation that will stop your roommates vocals coming from Game of Thrones or whatever he's watching. But in general, ANC does knock out droning noises, not voices, and so on. For TWS device, do check out audio settings using the. Yep, agreed, Ken Adams. One Year Fun Air Pro 3 versus OnePlus Buds 3. Year Fun Air Pro 3 any day. It's got the same amount of bass, but much cleaner in its overall delivery. OnePlus is just loud and not as detailed. It's definitely not as detailed because it's just about loudness. Too much bass eats into the mids and highs with the OnePlus. Vanch, no problem, man. By the way, quick update, the live sensei on sale, Gotham 7.5. 7.5 for the live. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. They are nice headphones. I do like them. Enjoy new headphones, man. But just reset all those sound settings, lost luck. Check your sound output. Your Dolby and all, keep everything off. Then it's not as mixed up. So, anyway, guys, I think I've managed to go through all comments and answer most, I think all of you, if I'm not mistaken, which is cool. And I think this is officially the longest live I've done so far. I lost track of time. Brixton, I have not tested the sound called Liberty, but the Earfun I really like. Earfun is a new company from just maybe a few years ago. They started, but they're filled, and I mean filled with audio enthusiasts. They genuinely love audio, and it's a question I asked because while I was listening to the Earfun Air Pro 3 for my script, I just got the sense that it was a very fun sounding set of earphones, and it's almost as if the people who made it love music and sound. So I did. That was one of my questions I wrote to Earphone when I was asking them about details about the earphone for my review, and they did say yes, that they are. I think they've got a whole bunch of audio enthusiasts. I think somebody else did also mention that they do have a whole bunch of audio engineers, and it's not just in the engineering, but it's in the marketing and everyone that is genuinely an audio enthusiast. So I really do like how Earphone stuff sounds. In fact, they've sent me one product that is also pending that I need to review, which I'll be doing soon. Lotus Luck, I would love if you do a review of the Tor 1 M2 JBL. Tor 1 M2. JBL Tor 1 M2. Those are the headphones, right? They're the premium ones, right? Lotus. Lotus, if you're here, I think this is the one. Click on this link. Here's the review, man. Then there is a major difference between aptX and LDAC. aptX LDAC is primarily just bit rate, more than anything else. One I think caps at 500 odd, the other's 990. But the thing is, I found all these earphones that say LDAC, like all the Realmes and all, even the Oppo for that matter. It says LDAC, but it's almost as if the bottleneck is the mechanical driver. Because I've heard the Yamaha TW-E3Bs and the Earphone Air Pro 3s that support aptX, they sound richer in detail than the other earphones that have LDAC. So it's about mechanical capability, it's about the materials and so on. So I still prefer how the Yamaha and Earphone sound compared to the stuff I've heard with LDAC, because they are richer. It's a lot of people just put LDAC for marketing. It feels like the companies that really care about sound work on the mechanics and throw an aptX. So that's something to consider. Okay, whatever your name is, man. I'm sorry, but I'm seeing Sorry, not Lotus. Lost Luck. I don't know why I read it as Lotus. I'm so sorry. NSR Vlogs. Hi, guys. I'm getting ready to sign off. I think people need to start saying bye now. Which would you recommend among the budget IEMs in terms of V-shaped sound signature? KZZSN Pro X. Can you suggest me best IEM under 2000? KZZSN 2X. Check out my review. Check out my review on Tangzu Warner. Um, Fio JD1 is another set that's nice. Truthia Hola is not available anymore. Lost Luck. Rohit's ragging you, man. One, should I go for DSP version? Samsung is DSP in the mobile. I don't know. I've not tested any DSP stuff from Samsung, man. Brixton, I this is a comparison you've written. I plan on doing, because I have the earphone free pro with me, but I've not yet reviewed it. It's one of the pending products I have, so I have to review that, and I also want to do this comparison. But I have heard the free pro 2, and the free pro 2, I must say, was very impressive. So if the free pro 3 is anything like the 2, I think I definitely prefer that over the Air Pro. Rohit. Doctor sounds like a poor politician name. I want to buy Bollywood 99. What do you want to buy? 90s music. You want bass heavy IEMs? No problem, NSR vlogs. I've not tested Toxin. I've not tested the WH720N. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm still expanding onto headphones. Um, but Sony has good stuff. Sony's got good stuff. Yeah, thanks, Brixton. It's right here, man. I've unboxed it and all, but I've not even heard it even once. So I'll get to it. I have a few things that are pending. I need to get them out of the way, then I can go to the earphone. But anyway, guys, I longest live stream. I need to go. It's been an hour and 50 minutes almost. And thank you so much for being a part of this live session. As always, I your names look familiar to me whenever I do come back on here. So I do try to do my lives every Monday. Last week I wasn't too well, so I didn't log on. But if you guys do like to come and chat, feel free to come on Mondays um, at 7. And of course, I mean, I'm trying to figure out if I can do this on weekends as well. I think a lot of people prefer weekends, but I think if I've got too many people, I won't be able to keep up because I like to answer every question. So I might just stick to weekdays for that reason. And okay, yeah, thank you for this. Okay, then you can find your life. To DM you? Yeah, yeah, that's fine, man. I realized we delayed my purchase. Thank you, sound advice. Hey, I'm happy to, man. Akhil, you can either message me. Insta, I'm not too active. Akhil, if you want to message me on the community thing. I get notifications when people message me on the community tab in my last post or in a video. Uh, I use YouTube more than I do Instagram. So if you want to reach me, that's how you can reach me. And I'm planning on launching some sort of a member thing so we can have maybe more one-on-one things. But it's a work in progress. It's gotten delayed because I wasn't keeping well. So we'll see. Joy Caden under 4K movies and TV shows, man. That's kind of everything that I don't talk about. Music wise, you can get good stuff. Yeah, EW 200s, I think, are going on a discount right now. Very nice sounding IEMs. Uh, Otherwise, look at the sub 2K stuff, man. JD1 is very nice right now. I think the new Tangzu from Headphone Zone is also good. It sounds the same. I've got a review on it. But anyway, okay, guys, I'll sign off. I think you guys are busy ragging Lost Luck. So I'd better sign off. Will there be Moondrop 2 review? No, Ishwar, there's no plan on a Moondrop 2. I've got too many things pending. I don't think I'm going to be doing any older stuff reviews. Uh, and I think I'll say good night to you all. Yeah, what Lost Luck has said. Yeah. Cool, guys. I'll say thanks and bye. If you guys want to chat with me, I'll see you next Monday. I should come back on Monday. And I'm going to stop reading all your stuff because I am well over time. This was supposed to be a 1 hour session, and it's turned out to be 1 hour 52. So I don't want to keep going. Ishwar, Ishwar's busy spamming. Does somebody want to assist here? One sec. Can you suggest which version between Realme A5 Pro S6? I have not tested the S6. Any major differences? The sale price is 4,000 versus 4,006. Piyush, I have not tested the S6 Pro, so I can't really comment on that. But I've heard some people saying it sounds exactly the same. It might just be a few newer features. I'm not too sure. I'm not really planning on reviewing it because I think it's very similar to the 5 Pro. But I might. I don't know. I might not even do an in-depth review if the 6 and the Realme and the Oppo launch something this year. I might do a comparison straight away and not a in-depth review because I'm getting a bit overwhelmed with a lot of products. So doing a lot of in-depth reviews gets difficult because there's a lot of effort that goes into it. How do you lower sibilance? You need to play with EQ settings in the upper mid-range, lower highs and upper mid-range. Ishwar. How many times have you asked me? One, two, three, four. You need to lower on EQ the upper mids and the lower highs. That's one. Lower the frequencies on the upper mids and lower highs. That's two. Lower the frequency. You get the picture. The doctor. Uh, the six has a better mic than the F5 Pro. Really? I might want to test it then because I really like the 5 Pro's mic. Yeah, yeah, Savera, I do. I remember your profile picture. Guns N' Roses is awesome, man. What are you saying? Okay, guys, cool. Bye. All the best. I'll see you in the next live stream, which is next Monday. And or I might do a review. I don't know. I might do the Tangzu review. But anyway, guys, all the best. Stay happy. Enjoy your music. Enjoy your tunes. I'll see you when I see you. All the best. Stay happy. Bye.